Alright, let's talk about the fastest, easiest way to learn piano chords without reading music. Now, once you learn how to build any chord in any key, I think you'll be amazed at how simple this really is. In fact, sheet music just gets in the way for a lot of people when they could actually be learning simple professional piano chords in just a few minutes. Now, contrary to popular belief, you can learn piano chords without years of lessons, recitals, or even learning to read music. In fact, depending on the song you're trying to learn, you can probably learn exactly the piano chords you need in under an hour, and here's exactly how to do that. So if you have to use a chart for piano chords, you just absolutely have to, then I recommend you get one with only pictures of the piano keys and dots on the keys that should be played. Now this will help you go as quickly as possible from seeing symbols for the chords to just playing them, which is really the end goal anyway. Okay, let's get prepared a little bit and talk about the notes and the intervals on the keyboard. Now, if you already know the note names, you can go ahead and skip forward in this recording, but if not, here's what you need to know. So, there are two groups of black keys on the piano, a group of 2 and a group of 3, which is fairly obvious. Now, the white key immediately to the left of any group of 2 black keys is C. Moving up from there, playing only the white keys, we have the notes D, E, F, G, A, B, and then C, and it starts all over again. So that's a C major scale for your information. Now when any note is flat, for example D flat, you simply play the very next key immediately to the left. So if this is D, that's D flat, no matter whether it's a black or a white key. For example, if this is F, F flat would be this, which is also E. Now, if there's a note that's sharp, like D sharp, you play the very next key immediately to the right, whether that's a black or a white key. So D sharp would be D sharp. There's D sharp. Or E sharp is actually F. Now, a half step is the shortest distance between any two keys on the piano. It could be from a white key to a black key, like from D to D flat, or a white key to a white key, like from E to F. That's a half step. All right? And a whole step is actually 2 half steps. So from C to D is a whole step. And now you know how to find any note on the piano. So let's talk about major and minor piano chords. Major piano chords are built with the root, for example C, then the note that's 4 half steps above that, 1, 2, 3, 4, which is E in this example, and then the note that's 3 half steps above that, 1, 2, 3, which is called the 5th, or G in this example. This was the 3rd, and this was called the root. So 1, 2, 3, 4 half steps, then 1, 2, 3 half steps. Now you can do this in any key on the piano. In fact, if you'd start with A flat, for example, right here, you go up 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3. So there's A flat, major. Now minor piano chords are kind of flipped over from that, and they're built with the root. So let's start with C. Then the note that's 3 half steps above, 1, 2, 3, or this is a minor 3rd, E flat in this case. Then the note 4 half steps above that, 1, 2, 3, 4, which is again the 5th, or G in this example. So you can hear the difference between the major and minor chords if you play them alternating back and forth. Minor sounds kind of sad and major is sort of happy. Now a dominant 7th chord is built starting with the major chord, so C major. Then you add the note that's 3 half steps above the 5th, 1, 2, 3, or B flat in this case. So a C7, or C dominant 7th is also called, is C, E, G, B flat. And these are the 3 main piano chords that you need to know for just about any song. Now if you want to learn these chords quickly, you should use inversions. what's called inversions. And you simply play the chords over and over and play the inversions of them at the same time. Now, an inversion is simply something where the notes of the chord are moved around in different positions. For example, a C major chord is that. That's root position, it's called. The first inversion of that, we take the C and put it on top. So we have E, G, and C. The second inversion, we take the E on top again. So G, C, E. If we do another inversion, we're back to root position again. Okay? So that helps you just get used to the way the chords are laid out. And if you can play them in all those different inversions, that will really lock them into your brain that much faster. And the idea is to be able to see the symbols for the piano chords like C or C7 and get to the chord as quickly as possible, not to spend a bunch of time figuring out what each note on the sheet music is and then finding the key on the piano and all that. All right? So there you have it. You can learn piano chords by the immersion method, by actually playing them. And it's time for you to start figuring out your own piano chords. And now you know how to play and build your own basic piano chords. So with a few more tweaks, you can make them really sound professional. And to learn how to do that, you can play professional piano chords faster than you ever thought possible, really. And all you have to do is subscribe to free piano lessons by email. To do that, simply go to pianochordsfast.com/free. And you'll see the address up here at the top of the page. pianochordsfast.com/free. Thanks for listening, and I hope that helps.